Hello Stampers and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. I just have to do another little quick tutorial about the Stampin Blends because I've been having so much fun, and my biggest advice to you about the Stampin Blends is just start coloring and have a lot of fun with it. I have found that the more I play with them, the more adventurous I get, or perhaps maybe the more bored I get with just simple coloring, so I start trying new things. But either way, it is amazing the results I'm getting by being a little bit more adventurous, by trying a few different things, by mixing and matching colors. And let's be honest, it doesn't always come out great, but sometimes it just comes out spectacular. So a couple samples I wanted to show you are this one here is the rose that I did using the Graceful Garden. You guys all know how much I love my flowers. So I just used that giant rose from the Graceful Garden stamp set and stamped it down there. Now you'll notice in this one, I did the stem just very basic in the light, and I did the leaves in the dark. I did the little leaves up here in the dark too. So I kind of just did light in this spot, dark in this spot. Again, for the rose here in the center, I did most of the center in the light, did the outer petals in the dark, and then filled in a few accent lines with the dark there in the center of that rose. So I hope you can see that color variation on camera as much as you can here in person. So here I will show you another sample. This uses the yellow, and again this one I did lighter leaves, darker stem, and again I did mostly light in that center spot and then added in dark and then did dark on the outer petals. So that is how I started doing this. The more I did these samples and the more we played with them at Stamp Club, we really got adventurous, and so many fabulous ideas came from it, and I started to have so much fun. Of course, don't forget when you use your Stampin' Blends, you need to use Memento ink. So I went ahead and I stamped these down. So I have two different roses here. So I really wanted to do one showing the pink Pirouette, but I didn't know how well it would show up on camera, so I thought I probably should do another one, so I did one in Calypso Coral. So I tried to do a little bit of variation between different ideas. For example, you'll notice this one I did dark green at the top petals and halfway down. I did that the same over here, but on this one you'll see I did the center of those leaves in the dark, and this one I did the outline in the leaves in dark. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the lighter old olive, and for this stem I'm simply going to pull that color from the top and just pull down and continue coloring all the way down. This gives that gorgeous variation where the top of it is lighter, or I'm sorry, darker, and the bottom is lighter. So it just gives a little bit of variation of color to that stem that makes it look a little bit more real and a little less just color blocking and stuff. So just pull down over that, that overlap of the two colors and it'll blend so nicely. As for the leaves, I simply just started doing circular motions, coloring around and picking up and going over that dark edge to keep the dark edge and that lighter center. So you can just keep swirling around until you have that nice little blend where you don't see that line as much anymore. Sometimes you do need to walk away and move over to another leaf, and then come back and see if you need to blend a little bit more, because you don't want to just keep going over the same spot, because even though it is alcohol, it could potentially start to ruffle and rip your paper because it's too saturated. This one I feel like turned out really good. This one might need just a little bit more. Super fabulous. Now let's move over to this one, and now we're going to pull from the center out to the edges. And there you have that fabulous color variation. The other thing that I started to do, rather than doing the centers in all of the light with a few dark accents, I then took the dark one and actually outlined the petals. So you can see I just kind of outlined all of the petals. Sometimes you can see it. Oh, nope, not on that one. Maybe a little on that one you can see right there. You can see how this one I went real thin. This one I went a little bit thicker, but of course because it's such a light color with that pink pirouette, then it doesn't show up as much on the back side. So then I'm just going to go in with the lighter shade and just swirl all around and blend it together. So here we go. So now I have the entire flower colored in, but there's a few spots where maybe there's a little bit of a line. So I'm just gonna go back through over those spots and make sure that that line isn't as distinct and sort of blend it together in a few of those spots. But you can see how much more color variation there is in this rose versus this rose. See how fun that is with that little bit more of color variation? Super, super fun. Again, we'll do the same thing with the lighter one. And again, with the lighter one, you don't have that line as much because it is so light. And this is one of those roses that I thought, why would I want to do one that light? But I should have known that I'm going to love pink no matter what. So super, super loving this pale pink, which is perfect for like a little baby card or, you know, anniversary, little lovey, something like that, or somebody who just really loves pink. I know I would love to get this card. I love pink. And sometimes I like to keep a little bit of those lines. Like I'll leave it on this one. I might go back a little bit later, but I don't know how much you can see. Some of those lines are still there, but I really kind of like that darker tip look. So I just highly recommend that if you have the Stampin' Blends that you just try to just sit down and color and play and see what you come up with. I was pretty simple in the beginning with these roses, and then I got a little bit more adventurous and started doing blending with different color variations and stuff. My next step is to add multiple colors, so perhaps going with the light pink and then maybe adding some rich raspberry towards the edge, or perhaps adding some coral and red together, or coral and some of the yellow. So stay tuned for that. Of course, I'll be posting pictures of these on my blog, laurastamppad.com, so you can check those out there. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new by clicking over here. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and check out some of my other Tempting Techniques videos over here. Be sure to check out the details on my free stamp set of the month by looking at the comments down below. I'll see you guys all next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.